WBCB presents Pro Wrestling Weekly,
the longest-running pro wrestling radio talk show in the history of terrestrial radio.
And he's obviously Michael Cole.
Call in with a question or comment at 215-949-3232 or 888-922-2149.
Talking wrestling.
Yeah.
Because that's what this show's about. That's what we've been doing for over 16 years.
No. It's about sports entertainment.
And now here are your hosts of Pro Wrestling Weekly, Fearon and Lucas DeSangro.
Will you stop marking out over there?
Sorry.
Move over, kid. I'm taking your microphone.
You're shallow, you know that?
I'm running on 2 hours of sleep. I don't remember what the hell I do anymore. There's the sound of the bell, and we are set to go. This is Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com, alongside Mr.
Part-time
Lucas DeSangro himself. I am Fearon Derry, and we are...
That's never going to get old for me.
No, it's not going to get old for you.
Part-time.
Yeah, good
And that's
job.
the only... I think if that's the only redeeming quality of that movie we can take, I'll take it.
Of course, referencing the fourth Indiana Jones movie.
And they're making a fifth.
They are.
I wonder if they'll be fighting the Cubans, considering it's been Nazis, Russians, and who's next? What era are we going towards?
Well, they could go topical and go North Koreans.
But that's not prevalent in that era.
Oh, true.
It started with the World War II stuff for 3 movies.
Well, the Korean War, that was in the 50s.
Yeah, true. But
They made a whole TV show about it. It was called MASH. And a movie before that.
Yeah, they did.
But the TV show, most people remember because it ran like 11 seasons or something.
Yeah.
And the series finale was, well, now there have been a bunch of Super Bowls that have beaten it, but it's like among the top 10 most watched television programs in the history of television.
It was a baby.
But yeah, since then, with more exposure to these Super Bowls and more global things of that nature, yeah, I think it's dropped from, it was like the second or third most initially, and I think it's dropped down to maybe like 7th, 8th, maybe 9th even.
There's a great, speaking of Indiana Jones, there's a great Mulaney bit he talks about, like, he's talking about it to his friend whether or not...
Hold on, Mulaney? Like,
John Mulaney.
Thank you, yeah. Comedian John Mulaney.
Comedian John Mulaney.
Yeah,
also,
remember, you have to explain
former writer
what...
for Saturday Night Live.
There you go.
And he does this bit with his friend. He's talking about, like, I told my friend I don't think I believed in the death penalty. And his friend just goes, whoa. So if you're telling me if you saw Adolf Hitler walking down the street, you wouldn't kill him. And it's like, that wasn't what I was telling you. But we can go on. If you mean
we got to put a filter on you.
You mean like somebody with
we really do.
With the uniform? I'm not going to kill that guy. I'm not going to kill an actor and ruin Indiana Jones 5.
That's where you were going with that. I was like, all right, what is the point of him getting this comedic shtick in here?
I said, speaking of Indiana Jones, it's gonna lead there. Believe me, I know. I know a lot more about what I'm doing than people might think.
Sure, we'll go with that.
That's a drop.
Goodness. Anyway, yeah, lots of things to get into, including hot off the heels of the War of the Worlds pay-per-view last night with Ring of Honor.
And what a pay-per-view it was, from what I've heard.
Yeah, I did not get the chance to see it as I was at training.
Well, I didn't see it either because I was broke, and although I didn't get to make it to training, I was late. And I was gonna stop for gas, and then I realized and then I realized I was gonna be late, and I didn't get gas. But I realized by the time I would be making it to training, it would be past 8, and I would not be allowed in. So.
Well, it was a very small, sparse crowd, as a lot of the folks at the factory were at the War of the Worlds pay-per-view up in New York.
I was watching a little bit of the replay this morning. We had two of our very own being extras as boys.
Okay,
our boys.
I was wondering if that was gonna. I didn't get the chance to talk to you about it before the show. So
we had a freak beast becoming a party peacock. That's pretty cool. Do you not?
I get it. I'm soaking that in. That is a lot to drink in, man.
points.
Yes, the Freak Beast, Nick Camarado, and I believe Matthew Oman was the other one, wasn't he?
Yes.
Yes,
I'm not
there
sure.
may have been some...
I mean, I saw a tattoo, but I mean, I don't know what he looks like without his mask on, so you never know.
Well, there were some pictures that were sent via the text formation over to one of our folks at training, so I did hear about it, but didn't actually see that in action. But I guess the Factory boys helped as Dalton Castle ended up winning that four-corner survival match.
Yes.
Beating Bobby Fish, Silas Young, and Kushida. Also, you had Hangman Page pinning Frankie Kazarian.
Very nice.
In a kind of short match, but I guess with everything going on, it was kind of hard to get everything in.
It was labeled as a grudge match, but it might not be over from there. Considering the history that Frankie Kazarian has with Bullet Club, back at the 15th anniversary, tricking Bullet Club into thinking that he had joined them only to help his buddy Christopher Daniels capture the world title.
Almost
and become the
akin to when DDP was part of the NWO for about 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's to become to win his first ever world championship of the world. I love that they do that with their.
Also, the IWGP Tag Team Champions War Machine defeating Sonata and Evil, as well as Chris Sabin and Jonathan Gresham.
In a non-title triple threat match. Yeah, it was very nice. I think it was War Machine Hansen. Or no, Raymond Rowe, my bad. Mm-hmm. That double belly-to-belly Sabin and Jonathan Gresham of Seek and Destroy.
Yikes. Also, Will Ospreay pinning Jay White, and a very notable appearance afterward is Punishment Martinez making his presence felt, and Jay White regretting bringing the fight.
Oh yeah. Oh no. He that was.
He tried peppering Martinez with a few forearms and
chops, and he caught
chops, and
it
was at that moment that he realized that he messed up.
Oh, he done messed up, Ron. He done messed up.
That's FEA, Ron. All these years, you still can't get... Are you kidding me?
You don't watch Key and Peele. You uncultured swine.
Beg your pardon?
I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm just Mahoney busting.
Okay, send your applications for a new co-host to 200 Magnolia Drive, Levittown,
Wow,
PA.
okay, wow. Okay. All right, cool. All of a sudden, I start Mahoney busting you, and, I think we need a new intern. Meanwhile, you Mahoney
Well, how much have you exactly
done
done in... You know what? We'll have that discussion off air. All right, 6-man tag titles. Bully Ray, Jay Briscoe, and Mark Briscoe defeating Hiroki Goto. I put the emphasis on the wrong syllable there. Trent Beretta and Rocky Romero in a no disqualification match to retain the Ring of Honor 6-man tag titles.
Representing the Japanese faction Chaos.
Yes. And chaotic it certainly was. Lots of extreme references in that one. Marty Scurll beating Matt Sydal to retain the television title. Mm-hmm. Also, your boys, the Young Bucks, beating Tetsuya Naito and Bushi in...
why are they exactly my boys? I mean, I'm a fan of the tag team, but, I just love the shtick. I think we all do, let's be honest.
Well, that's exactly why, because they're Nick and Matt Jackson are the two people who I know are more about getting their shtick in than you.
Actually, Matt Sydal's more my boy than the Young Bucks are. So it sucks they didn't win the TV title. I've come up with my stable of OSW boys. Matt Sydal is one of them.
There you go. Well, then he can't get too popular, otherwise he wouldn't be qualified for a boy stable. So
if he wins the world title in any way, but
yeah, maybe that's another debate for another day. Hiroshi Tanahashi beating Adam Cole,
and afterwards, this is a big revelation. So it was rumored to be Adam Cole's last match in Ring of Honor. So the Young Bucks come out for curtain call. The lights go out, and Marty Scurll standing in the corner. In full villain, bird mask regalia. And he opens up his umbrella to reveal a Bullet Club logo. Takes off his jacket, Bullet Club t-shirt. Young Bucks stand in disbelief super kick Adam Cole. What a way to send him out. Marty Scurll is the replacement for Adam Cole in the Bullet Club. A villain amongst this super faction in professional wrestling.
A super faction.
God help us all.
And
it's stretching across multiple promotions. Of course it is.
Yeah, this is true. And Christopher Daniels retaining the Ring of Honor Championship in a triple threat match against Jay Lethal and Cody
Rhodes.
Yeah, Rhodes. Exactly. So, yeah, a great night of action that I wish I got the chance to see, but training precluded me from it. Although we did get to check out, I don't know, maybe it would have been good for you to, well, I guess it would have wrapped up by the time you got there, but our friend,
Rock.
Wrestle Rock Radio, Matt Flowers and
Corey
Castle. They were down there broadcasting live from the factory last night, and I'll be in chats with them. I told them that that somewhere down the line that they'd be able to return the favor and come up here and ruin my show.
Wait, I don't do that already?
With you, it's more of a, I don't know. It's a lovable train wreck, I guess.
Oh yeah, true.
Lovable train wreck. I don't know. All right, we've got some news and notes to get into throughout the hour here. We've got some talk about Ring of Honor's parent company and some cash money deals that they're making. Also some injuries to report. The ratings slow slide continuing for which program, well, we'll let you know. Also, a very popular, at least very widely watched new baby making her way into the world. Yes. And also a press release about a new television deal in Turkey. That's right, Istanbul, Constantinople, indeed. All that and more, plus a lot of action to tell you about here locally, including something we haven't had a chance to talk too much about, but now I get the chance to here due to a few discussions behind the scenes here. 2 weeks from tonight, check out the debut show for Battleground Championship Wrestling at the Fraternal Order of Eagles, 920 Trenton Road in Fairless Hills. You'll get to see teacher versus student as Al Snow faces Chris Dickinson.
Ooh, Dirty Daddy from Evolve and Team Pazuzu from Beyond Wrestling.
There's a lot of notable names coming to this. Also, you'll see Owner versus Owner as WrestlePro owner Pat Buck battles controversial CZW owner DJ Hyde.
Is there any stipulation or is it just a regular match?
As far as I know, it's a regular match, but knowing those two, anything certainly can happen. Plus, the battle for who's the biggest and the baddest is former NXT star Bull James.
And friend of the Monster Factory.
Yeah. Takes on 400 pounds of another friend of the Monster Factory in the MFPW, Impact Wrestling as well, Fala Ba.
Ooh.
Yeah, the Bull versus the Ba.
Ba.
That alone is worth
Bull
the price of
versus
admission.
the Panda.
The Bull versus the Panda
Sounds like a
as well.
scene from Game of Thrones, like an episode. The Viper versus the Mountain. The Bull versus the Panda.
There was something Game of Thrones related that I wanted to talk to you about, and I can't remember it now. Probably because I know like next to nothing about Game of Thrones, but that's a whole nother story. Also in tag team action, the high-flying Grayson brothers, friends of the MFPW, face Valerio Lamorte and Maxwell Jacob Feinstein.
He made an appearance at the MFPW at one point.
Both of them did. They attended a couple of our camps. Yeah, see? So there's names I know we've talked about to be had all across the board. All that and more. I mean, there's so much more. I know there's a women's match that's scheduled. There's a couple of other. I know Corey Castle's set to be in action as well. So that'll be a lot of fun. That's 2 weeks from tonight, Saturday, May 27th, live from the Fraternal Order of Eagles on 920 Trenton Road in Fairless Hills.
6 p.m. meet and greet.
6 p.m. meet and greet. So you want to get there early with the bell time of 7 o'clock, and make sure to get your tickets now at battlegroundcw.com. So certainly looking forward to that, and I know that we're not booked that night, so maybe we'll even make an appearance.
Maybe.
Who knows?
You never know.
The Fearon versus Twitch grudge match. Maybe that, no.
We're booking ourselves for a show?
Yeah, no, we're definitely not doing that. We
that's a bit
want no part of that whatsoever. Although I'm sure at some point down the line. The methylphenidate powers will explode.
Yes.
Okay, maybe not. Who knows? Craziness abound. Certainly looking forward to that. So we've got more news and notes coming your way. We've got more stuff to talk about. The birthdays, the Today in Wrestling history. We've got Ed from Northeast Philly on the line. We'll get to him on the other side for the look at the local scene. All that and more here on a very soggy Pro Wrestling Weekly. We'll tell you more about that because we weren't supposed to be here in studio, but we'll get to that on the other side as well. Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com.
Do you have ringing, hissing, buzzing, or pulsing in your ears? Then you are probably suffering from tinnitus. Over 60 million Americans experience tinnitus. That's 1 in 5 people. You don't have to just live with it. Take control of your tinnitus and rediscover life without constant ringing in your ears by calling the Hearing Center of Bucks County at 215-310-5237. Find out about the brand new, state-of-the-art AGX Tinnitus Management System. The tinnitus experts at the Hearing Center of Bucks County, celebrating over 30 years of providing outstanding personalized hearing care, will evaluate if this new technology solution is appropriate for you. Find out if this is your answer for ringing in the ears. Call the Hearing Center of Bucks County at 215-310-5237. Online at buckscountyhearing.com.
Be sure to tune into Senior Legal Strategies with Henry Carpenter every Tuesday morning at 9, right here on 1490 WBCB.
Take a stand.
Take a stand.
Take a stand.
Like my brother did, when he wouldn't take no for an answer.
Like my wife did, when she asked the right questions.
Like my friend did, when she made the call.
You stood by us when we were in uniform, so stand by us now.
Take a stand for those who served our country.
If you're a veteran in crisis or know one who is, the confidential Veterans Crisis Line is here for you. Call 1-800-273-8255 and press 1. Chat at veteranscrisisline.net or text 838-255.
You won't see termites crawling across your floor, but thousands might be devouring the wood in your walls, weakening the structure of your home. For over 50 years, termite proofing and pest control of the Delaware Valley has been in the exterminating business. If you think you have a pest problem, they're the experts. Call them today at 215-639-5455. That's 215-639-5455 for TPPC. Termite proofing and pest control of the Delaware Valley gives your home or business peace of mind, knowing your pest problem is in their hands. Located at 1560 Bristol Pike in Bensalem, they use only EPA-approved material applied by licensed technicians. Call Termite Proofing and Pest Control of the Delaware Valley at 215-639-5455.
He's got the Luigi death stare from Fearon, so we might have to...
I didn't give you the Luigi death stare. That's not true.
You're breaking kayfabe.
Breaking kayfabe. Gonna break something else during this commercial.
There we go. That's what I like to see.
And now, more Pro Wrestling Weekly with your hosts, Fearon Derry and Lucas DeSangro.
Are we getting into that controversy again?
I know how it feels, and it's not fun.
Welcome back to Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Fearon Derry alongside Lucas DeSangro. And we are here in studio as we were supposed to be out on the road, but Mother Nature, she didn't like the prospect of that. We were supposed to be in Langhorne for the Langhorne Rotary Club Pet Fair, but it was supposed to go rain or shine today from 10 to 3. However, well, considering that it's been pretty much downpouring rain nonstop since about midnight, so for the last 12 plus hours, we're supposed to get between 1 and 2 inches of rain today. So yeah, you can only imagine what that would be if it was snow.
Oh boy.
Yeah, we'd be...
I don't want to.
Yeah.
And my imagination's quite vivid. And right now I'm thinking Battle of the Bulge just with storm, because it was snowing that day.
Yeah, true. But in either case, no, that would, yeah. So 1 to 2 inches of rain, that would be a lot of wet fur all over the place.
Hashtag Mother Nature hates kittens. Get that trending, folks.
Really?
I'm joking.
We
seriously?
I was
that supposed to be sexy?
Come on now.
Wait, what? that supposed to be sex? What? Did you hit the wrong drop?
I don't know, but it kind of worked.
No, it did not. It did not kind of work. In no way was it. Look, I know my jokes aren't funny, but if you think that unfunny jokes are passing for sexy, you need help.
You're shallow, you know that?
That doesn't work either.
It does in this show. All right, let's get out of this trip.
What dimension are we living in where that works?
One where people are entertained by it. I was gonna say what you think is funny and
who? Tell me who, Fearon. Tell me who.
Oh, if I only had the drop of the millions and millions of Pro Wrestling Weekly fans. No, let's go to Ed from Northeast Philly to bring some sanity back to this here, at least ever so briefly. Ed, welcome to Pro Wrestling Weekly.
Good afternoon. ROH is in Philadelphia tomorrow.
Yes, the big Mother's Day event down at
International TV taping.
Yeah, yes, that's right, for both here and outside of here, which is what international would be.
At the 2300 Arena.
Yeah, that should be a lot of fun. I know that there was a lot of carryover from those who were in the New York event last night, and I can only imagine what kind of a raucous crowd it'll be down at the 2300 Arena for the Mother's Day event tomorrow night.
The six-man tag match, did they lose the titles? The Bully Ray and...
Nope.
I didn't catch that.
Oh, no, they did retain. Yeah, it ended up being a no disqualification match, which played right into the Briscoes and Bully Ray's hands.
I will say I like them as a pairing. It seems like if Bully Ray were to come to Ring of Honor and team with anyone, it would be them.
And you mentioned Battleground.
Yes, the Battleground Championship Wrestling coming up in 2 weeks. That's.
I think George has tickets. George's cards.
Yeah, they were advertising it outside of their, what was it, the new...
outside the New Falls Road location?
Yeah.
Very possible. I mean, but yeah, I haven't had the chance to drive by that way, so I'm not too certain, but it would not surprise me as it's right almost in their backyard, almost like a mile and a half away from their location there.
Matt Tremont's supposed to be accompanying DJ, I think. That's what I read.
It'll certainly be interesting. I know Tremont is scheduled to be on there. Yes, he'll be accompanying DJ Hyde. Meanwhile, Kevin Matthews will be accompanying Pat Buck.
Yep.
Also, let's see here. Mike Verna against Buster Jackson, a women's attraction match. Should be a lot of fun.
Did it say who's wrestling in the women's match?
It does not. That is not advertised, but it should be good nonetheless. I mean, tickets, it look like, start at $20 for general admission, and go all the way up to $50 for VIP, and those are available at battlegroundcw.com.
There's a doubleheader this afternoon and tonight at the Skate Zone. CCW and WSU starts at 4, and there's 7:30 bell time for the CCW.
Oh yeah, I think one of our good friends and callers into the show, Sam from Mount Royal, New Jersey, is going to be making his way to that.
Of course he is.
Wow, what a dismissive tone on that.
If there wasn't a factory show, he'd still be going there. All love to him, but seriously.
All right, I'll have to send him a message that you're dissing him on the air here.
Oh my, no.
If he isn't listening already, of course.
You don't need to tell him. He can find out for himself.
He can find out for
himself. He's an adult.
Barely.
And happy Mother's Day for Brie Bella.
Yes, we kind of made reference to it earlier, but I can
way
certainly
to jump the gun on our news.
Well, you know what? I mean, hey, it's
just joking. It's just joking. Come on.
That's the lead-in for him.
Exactly. WWE announcing earlier this week that Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella have welcomed their daughter Birdie Jo Danielson into the world.
An interesting tweet that Kurt Angle put out we may never
Was
wrestle.
that speaking of Birdie? Is that where you were trying to go with that? Or was that just by happenstance?
Well, by happenstance, I suppose. He said something about, like, we may never wrestle, but maybe one day our daughters will. That's interesting.
Oh, yes, because there were a lot of people that were looking forward to the potential Daniel Bryan, Kurt Angle dream match.
He wanted his retirement match to be with Daniel Bryan, and, you know, perhaps that could...
It could be both of their retirement matches.
This could be something that could keep Daniel Bryan from leaving when his contract's up, but that's something for another day.
Yeah, we heard that whole thing with The Miz not too long ago.
I think he might be coming out of retirement. That's what I heard. Somebody told me.
Yeah, but I don't think...
Angle or Daniel Bryan?
Bryan.
I was going to say, because WWE doesn't want him to, you know, get hurt. That's the biggest concern, but I feel like with Daniel Bryan... he teased on Talking Smack at one point that, you know, when The Miz said, "Oh, you're not a wrestler anymore," it's like, "Oh, give it about a year and a half," and because his contract,
and then we'll see, and that's when that was kind of a little.
Contract's supposed to come up in 2018, and maybe to keep Daniel Bryan from going back to Ring of Honor or New Japan or, you know, leaving, maybe they can go, "Hey, all right, we know that we don't exactly want to clear you. If we give you this one more match, maybe even put it at WrestleMania." Against him and Kurt Angle, okay, fine. We'll give you this match if you re-sign, because we don't want you to get hurt. Even though a lot of doctors have cleared you, we're still worried about your well-being, and also we don't want you to go make, you know, we don't want to lose one of our biggest stars, whether or not you're not wrestling anymore. So that could be something to keep him in the company.
Very interesting.
That's just a theory. You know, I'm not going off any news. But I'm just.
You're throwing what's the term, scuttlebutt out there?
Just throwing some ideas around.
And Raw is in Newark this Monday.
Okay, not too far. I mean, a little bit of a drive, but I mean, if people were able to make the drive up to the Hammerstein Ballroom last night for Ring of Honor War of the Worlds, maybe they can make the trip for Raw.
But the Young Bucks won't be wrestling.
See, there he goes.
I'm just saying that I'm not being myself. I'm being the...
Well, then who are you being?
The stereotypical indie smark. I can sit and watch Raw from the comfort of my living room and not have to spend a lot of money on tolls and traffic and still enjoy the product.
True, and there's a lot of things generally on your Snapchat about that.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Alrighty, yeah. Thank you for at least trying to intervene in the bickering here, Ed. But much appreciated. Appreciate the look at the local scene as always here.
He's made Super Bra status with us, I feel like, in reference to OSW.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. He's
Ed has made Super Bra status.
Now, at some point, I have to dig back and actually remember which show in which he dropped the stupid idiot on you.
I think like a couple weeks, or the two
that was probably like 2 months ago.
2 appearances ago, I think.
Oh yeah, with your part-time set. So we're talking like January. Gotcha.
Hasn't been. Oh come on, it hasn't been that long.
I don't know. Hard to say.
Well, that's a buzzkill. Oh.
Thank you, Michael. Alrighty, now since Ed had mentioned George's Cards and Collectibles earlier, I got to tell you about more signings coming up, including later today. That's right, former WWE and ECW star Al Snow, and possibly that other thing that everybody wants, needs, and loves, will appear at Neshaminy Mall's George's location today from 2:30 until 4:30 p.m.
You mean Steve Blackman? Is that who you're talking about and who everybody wants? Is Head Cheese going to make a return?
No. There you go, spreading salacious lies, or dare I say...
I'm making...
Alternative... No, never mind, I can't say that. No, I can't say that either.
Yes, you can.
Damn it.
What do you mean you can't?
Well, I don't want to go there necessarily. I don't want to make Ted Efoss sweat in the back there. as he already tends to do.
I'm starting to think if it's that mundane of something to say, he might just have perspiration problems, if that's what we're going for right now. Love you, Ted.
Wow.
So I wave to him in the back.
Well, that's why he's got that laid-back country music going on with the Country Roads, which you can hear right at the conclusion of our show here about a half hour from now. Yeah. But back to George's here. Yes, today from 2:30 to 4:30, Al Snow and perhaps his cranial accomplice.
Good.
Yeah, see? There we go.
There we go.
They'll be at George's in the Chamonix Mall from 2:30 to 4:30. Also, 2 appearances coming up on Saturday, July 8th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Former WWE stars King Kong Bundy, former Monster Factory student, and one half of the Vaudevillains, Simon Gotch.
Ooh.
And as I'm sure you know, but in case you don't, George's has 3 locations for all of your cards and collectibles needs, including their original store at 7755 New Falls Road in Levittown, in the Willow Grove Park Mall in the second level near Macy's in Tivana, as well as in the Neshaminy Mall in the movie theater wing. And they have some really cool and interesting stuff, not just if you're necessarily a wrestling fan. I mean, they've got replica title belts. They've got everything from an autographed 2x4 from Hacksaw Jim Duggan. They've got, goodness, I think they had, I don't know if they still do, but I know at one point they had an autographed Apple from Carlito.
They have autographed guitars from the Honky Tonk Man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they've got a bunch of different. I think they even had an autographed high heel from Deborah, or maybe that was one of her sashes that she had from her.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Or maybe both. I don't. Yeah, I mean those are some of the things. But I mean they've got baseball collectibles, football collectibles. I mean various cleats and
Magic
various signed balls.
cards.
They've got exactly. For as far as cards, they've got Magic the Gathering. They've got. I don't know. They may even have Yu-Gi-Oh still, if that's a thing.
It might be, but it's
Pokemon,
shelved
maybe.
So they do have Pokemon. I would think.
I don't know. I'm lost on all these various things. But, I mean, the best way to... I mean, they've got hockey memorabilia, basketball memorabilia, all different kinds of stuff in there. Action figures galore. I know that's right up your alley.
Yeah. Oh, the wrestling figures. Wall to wall. It's heaven for me.
Yeah, just the tip of the iceberg are some of the things that they have. So you definitely want to check them out. And for more information on all this, go to georgescollectibles.com, as well as following George's Cards and Collectibles on Facebook. Okay, we're going to take, we're going to take care of an early bit of business here, and then we'll take our time out early, and then we'll get to the phones as we've got a
surprising caller coming in.
Yeah, we want to make sure we give him the full time here.
An
old friend, exactly. And then we'll also take care of that other thing after that on the other side as well. This is Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com.
Celebrate the national pastime in Cooperstown at the annual Baseball Hall of Fame Classic on Saturday, May 27th. The Classic, presented by the Ford Motor Company, features Hall of Famers and recently retired players representing all 30 Major League teams in a home run derby and Legends game at historic Doubleday Field. That morning, the Hall of Fame honors The Simpsons, celebrating the 25th anniversary of its classic episode, Homer at the Bat. Get tickets and info at baseballhall.org today.
Join former Phillies All-Stars Ricky Bottalico and Tommy Green along with host John Brazier for the Baseball Insiders Show presented by SEPTA immediately following Phillies baseball this Sunday right here on 1490 WBCB and video stream live at WBCB1490.com.
All commentators heard on WBCB express their own views. Their opinions are not necessarily those of others on WBCB, including the staff and management.
Keep Bristol Township on track with your vote on May 16th. Show your support for the Pro Team. Re-elect Council President Craig Bowen, Cynthia Murphy, John Monahan, and Ray Blaylock. They are your neighbors. There was no increase in township property taxes for 5 years, balanced budgets, and more police officers were hired. Re-elect the Pro Team. Craig Bowen, Cynthia Murphy, John Monahan, and Ray Blaylock. Their agenda is Bristol Township. Better and better and moving forward. Paid for by Bristol Township Voters Committee.
Hi, Tom Mellon from Team Toyota. Remember to listen to our show, Let's Go Places with Tommy Toyota, live here on 1490 WBCB, dedicated to our local hometown veterans, policemen, and firemen. Call me anytime for an appointment at 215-768-6505. That's 215-768-6505 for your exclusively discounted vehicle selection, and $50 will be donated in your honor to our specially selected charities. Stop by and see me, Tommy Toyota, at Team Toyota, Business Route 1, Langhorne.
Pro Wrestling Weekly presents Today in Wrestling History, May 13. On this date in 1996, WCW Monday Nitro aired live from Nashville, Tennessee. In the main event, the Giant fought Lex Luger to a double countout. On this date in 2002, WWE Monday Night Raw aired live from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. In the main event, Steve Austin pinned Booker T in a lumberjack match. On this date in 2007, TNA held its Sacrifice pay-per-view. In the main event, Kurt Angle defeated Christian Cage and Sting in a triple threat match to win the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. On this date in 2012, TNA held its Sacrifice pay-per-view. In the main event, Bobby Roode defeated Rob Van Dam in a ladder match to retain the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. This has been Today in Wrestling History, May 13. Welcome back to Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Fearon Derry and Lucas DeSangro alongside each other here, I guess. That would be the...
Who's the third man?
Yeah. And whose side is he on? Well, I guess Ted Efaw is the third man. I don't know. He's making sure I don't say anything stupid.
Then watch out for that leg drop. I'm watching you, Wazowski.
He's got the hardest job in the world. He's got to make sure I don't say anything stupid. No. I don't know.
Then who's watching me?
I don't know. It's like that. Who's going to watch The Watchmen? You know,
Who watches The Watchmen?
Or who watches The Watchmen? There we go. All right.
Let's. I like that. I popped a little bit for that reference.
Every once in a while, I kind of take chicken excrement and turn it into chicken salad, I guess. Anyway, let's go to the chicken salad and try to make it even better with none other than Dan from Chicago. Maybe instead of chicken salad, we'll go deep dish style pizza there. How about that?
You know, despite both your all comments about an old friend, I may be 43 years old, but I'm not that old. I still stayed on the line for you guys.
Oh, no. I
that wasn't meant as like a
long-tenured friend.
Yeah, somebody who's been a friend of the...
Man. Sensitivity all over the place here.
Of all people, I wouldn't expect you to get, like, upset over something like that. You're from Chicago.
Well, I mean, I know that Chicago's a cold area, but I didn't think there were that many snowflakes out there.
Wow. That is a drop. That is a drop.
Oh, man.
Mark the time. Note the time.
Okay,
Mark. Anyway, what's going on, Dan?
WWE's got to get out of the UK. I mean, Raw was good. SmackDown,
I don't think that had to do with the scenery,
though. 15 minutes of it. Like, because the Superstars shake-up has ruined my SmackDown experience now.
Why is that?
Because, like, Alexa Bliss is over on Raw. I like her a lot. I like a couple other people that went over it. They, like, flip-flopped basically everybody.
Yeah,
well,
they do
that every year. The draft. They just did it with a shake-up this time.
That's what a shake-up's supposed to do.
They could have done it a little bit differently, though. Like, they could have had some, I can't say that word, sorry, some...
submission?
Another draft, like they did.
Oh, a supplemental draft?
Made it differently instead of showing up.
You know, the thing is, I think, look, just give it a few weeks, because I think after this pay-per-view, because, yeah, it was, the shake-up is sort of like, we're dealing with a little bit of an aftershock, no pun intended. Well, actually, you know what, yeah, pun fully intended. But as soon as everything settles down, you know, we're going to get... Are you gonna?
No, I'm not playing. I'm doing other. Don't mind me. Just keep making your point.
So you know, after everything sort of settles down with the pay-per-views, after Backlash specifically, I think everything will sort of fall back into place. You know,
right?
It's the Intercontinental title. We had some like cross-brand. It was confusing, but after give it a couple more weeks, I think we'll be okay.
And, you know, I know it usually drops off anyway after WrestleMania, but the ratings tell the story on this week.
Yeah, that was something I was going to get into here. We'll talk about that now. This past Monday's Raw scoring a 1.9 rating, down from the 1.99 rating last week, an average of 2.696 million viewers, down about 174,000 viewers from last week. So 174,000 fewer viewers. That's a fun one to say. This week as opposed to last week, and it's the lowest rating and viewership for Raw in 2017.
Well, let's just put it this way. Backlash isn't going to be here next weekend. I don't care. I'm watching it on the network.
You can't.
That's
But
bad.
what about Takeover? That's going to be fun.
I'm watching it on the network. Why should I? Here's my thing. Why don't they drop ticket sales? Because, not to be mean, I've not thought about going to a pay-per-view event out here or Raw or anything out here since the network debuted. What's the point? Why should I spend more money on tickets than...
Because it's a lot different of an experience live than it is.
It is.
We could have spent money. We could have just Fran and I could have stayed home and went to the Royal Rumble, and
or instead of watching the Royal Rumble live.
Actually, you know what? That might be a bad example because Fran didn't exactly have the best time, but that had nothing to do with the show.
Yeah, that was more. Well, you know what? I guess my not quite web, but or maybe it is web. WWEB Redemption. See what I did there? Will be coming up on January 28th, where maybe I have the chance to right that proverbial wrong from 2.5 years ago.
That would be nice. Granted, we're able to go.
Well, yeah, time will tell on all that. But I think that the advent of the addition of the pay-per-views is certainly making it a bit cumbersome as well. I mean, we've got 5 for 2017 in the books, and already officially scheduled are another 7, but that doesn't include an October or a December pay-per-view to be named yet.
Yeah, I was going to say that there's definitely an influx of pay-per-views, and I think, I think they need to sort of settle that down a little bit. I mean, you can make more... I don't know. It's just... I like the idea of maybe just have a pay-per-view a month, just in separating the brands. So then every other month you have a pay-per-view. That's I think that's a reason that the Takeover specials, at least for a while, were so special.
Popular because they were quarterly.
They were quarterly. It was more. Well, I mean, they started.
It was a throwback to when it was acceptable in the 80s.
Yes.
And the early 90s.
And I know they're trying to make a lot of money, but if you can focus more on, instead of rushing these storylines and making more sense, if you just slow down. It's like Danny always says to us in training, speed kills. If you slow down and let the fans digest what's going on.
They're never going to slow down, though. They want things over with quickly.
Yeah, they're taking they seem to be taking the Keanu Reeves approach and staying above 50.
Well, that was because a bomb was going to go off, but seems like a bomb's going to go off.
Well,
if they...
maybe... never mind. I was going to say, maybe, you know what, why not? Maybe no, actually, I wasn't even going to go there. I was going to say, maybe that bomb is one Vincent Kennedy McMahon. What are we doing slowing down these storylines? We need revenue, damn it.
But you're going to lose revenue in the long run, unfortunately.
I know. I'm playing devil's advocate here.
Haste
it's a great
makes
pinball
waste
game, but you lose really quickly.
It's also a pretty good movie with I see what you did there.
Mm-hmm.
So also the movie where Al Pacino decided to stop playing humans in film.
Well, I mean, even Eugene Levy played the devil.
Yeah.
Or no, that was Jeffrey. Oh, I forget. It's been so long since I've seen Stay Tuned. Yeah, how's that for a throwback, right? You're probably wondering, what is he talking about? Or have you seen Stay Tuned?
I think I've seen
All right, we'll talk about that after the show.
Well, I mean, we have the birthday party. So
yeah, true.
Save the date. We'll talk about it.
Exactly. But no, to get back to your point, there are, with next week, there's going to be 3 pay-per-views in a 5-week span.
Yeah, that's just like... What stories are there? Is it just going to be matches?
Well, you've got Backlash, the SmackDown branded event. Then 2 weeks later, you've got the Raw branded Extreme Rules. And then 2 weeks after that is the SmackDown branded Money in the Bank.
It's just going to be SmackDown?
That's what it's saying here. SmackDown branded Money in the Bank at the Scott Trade Center in St. Louis, Missouri.
See, that I don't really agree with, because I feel like that should be another one of those, it's starting to become a big 5 because, or maybe it should be they should still have one Money in the Bank match, but it could go to either brand. You have...
But there's no Universal title on Raw anyway. I mean, there is...
Yeah, but it's 3... There's 3 Raw and 3 SmackDown and 3 Raw guys, and then the winner... And hey, maybe it doesn't have to stay to one brand. You could go to either brand, like CM Punk did on Edge in Monday Night Raw, but he got drafted. But, he could show up on SmackDown if he's a Raw guy and win the title from Randy Orton, or
you could have an
vice
NXT
versa.
Money in the Bank too.
See, I don't really know.
Yeah, I don't
NXT
think they're going to cross over with that.
NXT's, it's its own territory, but it's also, there's a reason there's not a mid-card title for NXT. It's because it's still developmental. I mean, it's become its own territory. It's a big thing, but they're still going to push people to go to the main roster.
Certainly should be interesting. Anyway, Dan, we got to get rolling. Time is quickly moving upon us here, but much appreciated on the call. Don't be a stranger, all right?
Take it easy, guys.
All right, you do the same. So, wow, good to hear from Dan. A lot of interesting points, a lot of fun back and forth type things here, as we tend to do here. And since I'm a little bit late for it, we got to make sure we get it out of the way here, or get it in, I should say. I know your specialty. It's set to be a delicious weekend at the Broken Goblet Brewery at 1500 Grundy's Lane in Bristol, PA, where this weekend there is a Mother's Day special on the 22-ounce bomber bottles, including the Goblet's Diane Coffee Stout and Nameless Ghoul Ghost Stout for just $8. Their Bombor Brandy Wine for $13. That was the third of their Hobbit series that they do every December. And either Bubba's Sour Tea Bag or their Trait de Marque aged in rum barrels for just $15. Plus, it's a Firkin Awesome Saturday as they're tapping a Firkin of Hefeweizen sitting on prickly pear.
Ooh.
So a pear-flavored wheat beer. If only the weather was a little bit warmer, it'd be perfect, but it's still delicious nonetheless. Tonight, there's original music from Fuzzy Slippers, followed by Arjun, and tomorrow, bring Mama in for Mother's Day for sangria specials all day. It's always a good time at the Broken Goblet Brewery, 1500 Grundy's Lane in Bristol, PA. Broken Goblet Brewing, the semi-official brewery of Pro Wrestling Weekly. Please enjoy responsibly. And also got to tell you, the MFPW returns to the world-famous Monster Factory at 541 Mantua Avenue in Paulsboro, New Jersey, next Saturday, May 20th. See LSG, Paid in Full, Gabby Slays, Riley Shepard, and more. And just announced not too long on the Twitters, probably about 10 minutes ago, you'll see Josh Briggs face Nick Camarado for the MF Live Championship.
Again?
Those two are hosses.
They're going at it again?
Yeah.
Wow. The rematch.
The rematch. It should be interesting.
Damn near broke the ring last time.
Exactly.
Holy
Tickets
crap.
are now available at eventbrite.com. Buy front row seats and get a locker room tour at admission. Or at intermission, I should say. Yeah, you get the admission and you get the locker room tour at intermission.
My favorite thing at and this is why you need to take the locker room tour, because you miss stuff. If you don't, you'll miss stuff like this little kid.
Well, you'll get to miss Lucas selling his wares out at ringside.
Well, not that. This was even better, because everybody sells their merch. But like this little kid came to the back. This kid Riley.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Kid's a trooper. He comes to the back strictly just to see Mikey Webb and say, "I'm coming for your title." He goes, "Why don't you take it?" And he comes up and punches Mikey Webb right in the gut. Now that's a kid that's going places. Especially
now, wasn't he the one that had the various medical procedures and whatnot? Yeah,
and he comes to the back and
like
says,
double lung and heart surgery or something like that?
Kids, you follow...
And he's only, what, like 5 years old, something like that?
Follow Smile for Riley on Twitter.
There you go. Got to give the plug out for
number
that.
4 Riley on Twitter.
There we go. Got to show some love for that here.
Kid's a trooper, and he's just awesome.
He most certainly is. Maybe we'll see Riley there next Saturday. Check out the MFPW and all things Monster Factory on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram, as well as at monsterfactory.org. A bunch of new content just put up, as well as past matches, bios, bloopers, and more at the mfnetwork.com. And don't forget Factory Fridays, the 18 and up alternative to the MFPW, returning Friday, May 26th.
Yeah,
it should be a lot of fun as well.
That should be a lot of fun.
All right. We're going to take it home as far as some news and notes and other things that we didn't get to because of our incompetence. Sinclair Broadcast Group, the parent company for Ring of Honor, has a $3.9 billion pinky to the corner cash and stock agreement to purchase Tribune Media, according to Variety.com.
That sounds familiar.
Sinclair Broadcast Group Chairman David Smith saying in a press release, television broadcasting is even more relevant today, especially when it comes to serving our local communities. He also adds, Tribune's stations allow Sinclair to strengthen our commitment to serving local communities and to advance the next generation broadcast platform. This acquisition will be a turning point for Sinclair, allowing us to better serve our viewers and advertisers while creating value for our shareholders. The Variety.com piece notes that the Tribune acquisition includes 14 Fox affiliates, 12 CW affiliates, 6 CBS affiliates, 3 ABC affiliates, and 2 NBC affiliates. Now, possible, but yet to be determined how the exposure is going to come for Ring of Honor based on all that.
I was going to say, does that mean that Tribune? That means that they could be airing on either of those networks instead of Comet TV?
Potentially, but yet to be determined. We're not too sure about that. Also, of note, some injuries that are going on here, including... Well, this was tweeted a little bit earlier this week from Emma, who reportedly suffered an apparent shoulder injury at a live event this past Sunday in Liverpool, England. She tweeted on Monday, just a little unlucky, waiting to see what it is. No word from either her Twitter or WWE since then as far as what's going on with it. Also, according to ProWrestlingSheet.com, Braun Strowman expected to undergo elbow surgery and is expected to be sidelined for 4 to 8 weeks.
He went through it yesterday, I think. I believe he went through it yesterday. I'm not entirely sure.
Very possible. Yeah, I didn't get the chance to get the update on that. I knew he was scheduled to have it. I might have had it yesterday, or certainly on the ball with that. Also, NXT wrestler Ember Moon sidelined with a grade 1 shoulder sprain. And she's officially been pulled, according to WWE.com, from the NXT TakeOver Chicago card.
So isn't she number 1 contender for Asuka's women's title?
Yeah, not sure what they're going to do with that there.
Yeah, I was going to say, how are they, because that's also going to mess with the TV tapings a little bit.
You're right about that. Also, WWE issuing a press release yesterday to announce their new television deal in Turkey.
Ooh.
Saturday night at midnight, S Sport will televise a 2-hour edition of Raw, followed immediately by a 1-hour edition of SmackDown at 2 a.m. So 3 straight hours of wrestling. You get both your Raw and SmackDown in a nice 3-hour package.
Sort of like what Universal HD would do, except they just air both episodes of Raw and SmackDown.
And it will be broadcast. Both will be broadcast in Turkish.
Nice.
S Sports subscribers can also watch episodes they missed through video on demand and S Sports 7-day catch-up feature. Interesting. Also of note, we got just enough time for it. Time for...
birthdays!
You're right about that. I got 3 of them plus the Brucey bonus. On this date in 1961, Dennis Keith Rodman was born. The Hall of Fame basketball player and 5-time NBA champion who competed at the 1997 WCW Bash at the Beach, as well as the 1998 Bash at the Beach and 1999 WCW Road Wild pay-per-views. Yes, Dennis Rodman did wrestle on 3 occasions. One of them was a tag match. It also included longtime Utah Jazz player Karl Malone in kind of a battle, taking the battle from the court to the ring as they had faced off in the NBA Finals, won by the Bulls in '98. Part of that second three-peat by the Bulls. I'm surprised I have that much basketball knowledge, because that's like quadutiary in terms of my interest and knowledge of the major sports. On this date in 1964, Raymond M. Lloyd was born, the former WCW star and soon-to-be coach at the Power Factory in Georgia alongside QT Marshall, best known as Glacier, turns 53 today.
Wow. Glacier.
Yeah. Blood runs cold. And on this date it was like a whole Mortal Kombat Sub-Zero. They were trying to play off of that from the mid-90s, and they went to great expense, which is why Turner no longer has all that property. As far as the entrance, I think the light show cost something about $1 million every time they did it. Yeah, it was buco bucks they were spending on that. And on this date in 1981, James Carson Yun was born. The former WWE and WCW star known as Akio, Jimmy Yang, and Jimmy Wang Yang turns 36
that's
today.
Another one. That's another one. That's going into the boys' stable.
He's in the boys' stable for you?
He was one of the him and Shannon. He and Shannon Moore were a tag team that would always feud with John Morrison and The Miz on SmackDown when I started watching. Holy crap.
Gotcha. And the Brucey bonus, something outside of the world of wrestling. On this date in 1964, you're going to love this one. Stephen Tyrone Colbert was born.
His middle name's Tyrone?
Yes.
Holy cow.
The comedian, author, and late-night television host from The Daily Show, The Colbert Report, and current host of The Late Show with Stephen Colbert turns 53 today. Happy birthday to all. Happy Mother's Day tomorrow to all the mothers out there. And even the mother... never mind, I'm not going there. But what I'm going to do is turn it over to Ted Efaw and the Country Road Show. In order to do that, play us out, Nutsy.
One.
7 o'clock and all's well.
Serving you better than ever before. This is 1490 WBCB.